antibiotics are often overprescribed and their misuse can harm your health and the health of those around you. Yes, yes, you heard me right. Welcome to Health and Fitness Academy channel. Today we'll be looking at antibiotics awareness and its misuse, its responsible use. It's very important that you listen so that you take notes. Okay, so we have a guest today in our midst. Let me use this opportunity to welcome Mrs. Doris. You are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me. So, today we'll be talking about antibiotic awareness and responsible use of antibiotic. I'm Pharmacist Doris, a foreign trained graduate. With my years of experience, antibiotic is supposed to be a prescription medication. But sadly, in this part of the country, in this part of the world, it's not. Antibiotic, as we all know, it's a medication that is used to treat bacterial infection. So, when purchasing an antibiotic, you have to meet a doctor or any healthcare professional. Okay, are we all following me? Can we all hear me?
Yes, yes, I
All
can
right.
hear you.
Okay. So, the first thing we'll be looking at is antibiotic is not always the answer. You have cough, you have cold, any illness someone has, they want to go and purchase antibiotic and take. No, you have to first consult a healthcare professional because a single antibiotic cannot be used to treat all the infections. There are different antibiotics meant for different infection. Okay, we have different bacterial organisms. We have the Staphylococcus aureus, we have Escherichia coli, we have the chlamydia species, the Klebsiella. Name them, there are a lot. So you can't tell me one antibiotic will be used for all. That is why you need to see a healthcare professional to give you this antibiotic. Okay, if you take an antibiotic, make sure you complete your dose as being prescribed by your pharmacist or your doctor. You're being given an antibiotic and you're told to take it one morning, one evening for 5 days. You take today, you take tomorrow, you feel better, and you feel it's not necessary to take anymore, and you stop. That is called antibiotic misuse. Now, remember that this medicine you're taking is for bacteria, to kill those bacteria. You take it for 2 days, you feel better. There are still some bacteria in your body system that are not yet dead, that are still alive. And these bacteria, they have genes. They're going to change their mutation in such a way that if you repeat that same antibiotic, you won't be getting your desired results. That is what we call antibiotic resistance. Have you ever wondered why you take a particular antibiotic? Okay, for example, this ampiclox and amoxicillin most of us do take. You take ampiclox today, it works very well. You're happy. Yes, it works and better. Let's just say you keep taking it and at some point it stops working for you. That is because the bacteria in your system is now used to this antibiotic and has changed the genetic mutations in his system, and now it's now resistant to that ampiclox you're taking. So that is the reason you need to complete your antibiotic medication when being prescribed by your healthcare professional. If they say take one morning, one evening for 5 days, make sure you complete that antibiotic. Okay? In that way, you're sure you feel, even if you feel better in day two, completing it with your five, make sure all the bacteria are completely eradicated from your body, are completely dead, and you feel well. So, in real life situation, we can also, okay, I know I've handled a case where someone came to the premise, to the pharmacy with a prescription. He has this common bacteria, Staphylococcus aureus. You can imagine, it's common. But then all the antibiotic in his results were showing resistance. I told him, brother, I can't help you. You have to go to the hospital. This is because he has been misusing antibiotic. Probably he doesn't finish his medication, or he takes today, he skip tomorrow, he takes next tomorrow. So another thing we'll be looking at now is um do not prescribe medications for yourself. It's still in line with what we are saying, because some medications you have to take them before food, some after food. This is because of your gastrointestinal system. Let's take for example levofloxacin. Most of us, or some of us, should be aware of this drug because it's used to treat the urinary tract infection. Levofloxacin is usually taken 1 hour before food on an empty stomach. That's because food reduces its absorption. But if you just go to the pharmacy and get this drug, nobody is going to tell you take this medicine before food because it works better. Now, ciprofloxacin on the other hand, which is also an antibiotic, is being taken after food. Ciprofloxacin has the side effects of causing diarrhea. If you take this drug before food, you may have gastrointestinal upset, stomach upset, and you start going to the toilet, you're stooling. Every drug has a side effect, but then we need to be cautious when taking some certain medications. Okay, so um, I think I'll be stopping here for now. In case anybody has any questions, you can ask me and I'll clarify you on that.
Okay, I have some questions some people have been asking over here. Someone on my channel once asked, what are some alternative treatment for common infections?
Come again with the question.
Alternative treatment for common infections. The common infections we have, something like STDs.
Okay, like I said, they have to meet a healthcare professional, because if you want to treat common infection, you're not sure of the most times we even recommend. For example, you say STDs, right?
Yes.
Yes, the STD is a sexually transmitted disease. You have the syphilis, you have the gonorrhea, name it. So first of all, I would advise you go for a lab test, or you go and see a doctor who will tell you to go for a lab test. The reason for this lab test is for them to determine the organisms causing the sexually transmitted disease, because the antibiotic or the medication you're going to use to treat um let's say for example gonorrhea is not the same antibiotic you're going to use to treat syphilis. Aside that, when a lab test is conducted, that specific organism being seen in the lab, they are going to run different antibiotic on it, and the one with the most sensitivity, which is going to be the more active one, is going to be the one the doctor will prescribe for you. So my advice is the person should first of all and see a healthcare provider, a doctor or a pharmacist, to advise them to go to the lab and then to know the right medication
Thank
for them.
you. And the next question I have here is, what are the consequences of antibiotic misuse?
All right. First of all, the major consequences is antibiotic resistance. Like, that is the key word. Emphasis on resistance. Resistance means that antibiotic is not going to work. For example, let's say E. coli. Okay, most of us will not know what E. coli is. A bacteria, a gram-negative bacteria. Okay, how can we contact E. coli? Okay, this is actually an interesting bacteria. And then we should also know that, for example, Staphylococcus aureus is found in every woman body. okay? But it's when it's been excess that it calls for alarm. You have to see a professional. Okay, let's say for example, we females, for the females in the house, we are told that if we want to clean up after using the toilet, we have to clean from front to back, not from back to front. The reason you're cleaning from front to back is to prevent infection. When you have E. coli as a female, it's been said that E. coli is found in the feces in our poo. So if you clean from front to back, you're exposing yourself to having an infection called E. coli. Okay? So for example, you have this and you're being prescribed a medication for gram-negative bacteria by your doctor, and you don't take this medication as prescribed. He say take it morning and evening after food for 7 days, and you take one tablet today, take in the evening, you feel better and you stop. Maybe there is no more itching, there is no more discharge, and you stop. You're misusing that antibiotic. The next time you want to take that same okay, the next time, let's just say in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you're having the same itching, the same discharge, and you go to the pharmacy, I want to buy this particular drug because you have the pack with you. It may not even work. Why? Because that those remaining bacteria that were there when you felt you were okay, you just suppressed them, but they were not there, they were not gone, they were still in your system. They've woken up, they've changed their genetic modification, and now that specific E. coli is now resistant to that particular drug you went to the chemist or the pharmacy to go and purchase, and it won't work. So resistance is the key word. That is the consequence when you misuse a drug given to you by self-medication or by not completing your antibiotic dose as being prescribed.
Okay, thank you very much, Farm Doris, for joining us today and sharing your knowledge on antibiotic awareness. Okay, if I may get you right, we should always use our once we buy our drugs, we make sure we take the right dose, and we should always finish our drug, not taking for some times when we don't feel the need for it, maybe the inching or something, we have to leave it, and maybe once it comes again we go back to the hospital, whereby we didn't finish the last one. That means the illness is still there. So we must always finish our antibiotic when we want to use them, right? That's what you
Yes,
mean.
yes.
Okay,
And then
that's interesting.
okay, yeah. Another key
All
note is
right.
do not share your antibiotic. A doctor gave
Okay.
you an antibiotic, a friend is having the same illness, you give them some, you're shorting your dose as well. So we should try not to share our antibiotic.
All right. All right. Thanks you for your insights and guidance, sir. Truly appreciated. Thank you
Thank you
for
very
honoring my
much.
invite today.
To round
So,
it up, I would say the responsible use of antibiotic help to prevent the spread of antibiotic resistance and ensures effective treatment for ourselves at that moment and for future infections. Thank you.
wow. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And for those that join us live, thank you. I can see Danso, just Danso from Port Harcourt. Thank you very much for joining. I can see other people. Thank you very much for joining. So please, if you like this video, do well to subscribe, like, turn off your notification icon so you stay updated on our latest video. And if you like something like this content for me to be bringing some health practitioners to talk to us, well, you can leave a comment down below, write down your questions, and it shall be answered by Farm Doris. Thank you very much. Love you and bye. Thank you very much, Farm Doris.
Thank you.
Bye.